To the careless woman, to the careless God. Allow me to place a particular reading inviting said God's grace within your life. Allow it to be a point of reflection, a turning point, if you wish, which from this point, you as a woman may either engage in the same trajectory, or you may experience a new trajectory. To the careless woman, Isaiah 30 to 32. Isaiah a warning to careless women. Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice. Ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and many years shall be troubled. Ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars. Yeah, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. Because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the city shall be left, and the forts and towers shall be for dens forever, a joy of wild asses, pasture of flocks, until the Spirit be poured upon us from on high, and the wilderness be a fruitful field, and a fruitful field be counted for a forest. Notice beyond the effect of righteousness. What might the effect of righteousness be? Then judgment shall dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness remain in the fruitful field, and the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance forever. And my people shall dwell in a peaceable habitation, and in sure dwellings, in quiet resting places, when it shall haul and hail coming down on the forest, and the city shall be low in a low place. Blessed are ye that sow beside all waters, that send forth thither the feet of the ox and the ass. What might be a notion driven behind this particular passage? Ye of careless nature, which even ye of careless nature, and even ye of careful nature, upon said waters you see not just the feet of the animal seeking to quench its thirst, but you also see the ass of the animal in the same water the same. Regardless of the purpose the animal seeks to use its wilderness from in order to survive or in order to cleanse itself, one may find that within said water is shared. Water, imagine now, said water be thy servant, and in said servant you see a notion of Christ driven behind washing the feet of his servants. And even in said same water that one may wash their ass in, the other beast may drinketh from the same water. The water does not change. It is the behavior that changes. And in the behavior that changes, said water is the same. It cleanses and it allows for your survivability. In the careless woman, what is an ocean driven? That even the careful which act upon dignity may themselves drinketh with their feet at said water, that even at said water careless may wash their ass at said water, yet the same, the water remains that which allows the grace to return to itself. In washing away the carelessness, you could say, let it wash over you. Do not hold upon this pain, this filth, that which in the filth we drinketh from the same water, the same. It is not that wine turns into water. It is the intoxication resulting in you feeling altered as a result of God's grace, experiencing same water. The transmutation of the self, however, is the miracle of Christ. In the reading previously shared on divorce, which I have read within Matthew 18:20 in a previous video. In said previous video, what may careless women essentially cause within the passage on divorce. moment a woman understands her self-value, and in her self-value, she sees not just the potential for her life, but her sons' and daughters' lives. But in the self is the decision to be made regarding allowing said God's grace to return upon thyself. In God's grace returning upon thyself, you may find a transmutation. And within said transmutation of the self, you may find one particular notion being driven behind this video. Regardless of behavior, careful or careless, all together may drink and wash their ass from the same water. If the water does not change, but it is the behavior of the individual that does, and understanding the different behaviors now, in your own self-value, may you essentially find in a change in behavior and being a character arc, whether it be whichever direction. As a woman, you find, according to your behavior, you choose said particular partner of said behavior. Ultimately, the question is left upon you. Is it the partner or is it the behavior that you will be marrying? Which, according to said behavior, you may find in yourself where God's grace returns to you. A woman takes on many husbands in her life, and in each husband, the goal is to find the last one, which in her self-value, she finds her match, a responsible man, which even in the careless woman and the carefulness of a woman, we find then responsible men and irresponsible men. Notice the words careless and careful when deciding the description of woman, whereas when speaking of man, we see the responsible and irresponsible terms used. A woman has to be careful in the environment of irresponsible men, but by finding a responsible man, by being careful, you may find ultimately within your life a form of love returning said God's grace upon yourself, known as dignity. In said dignity, you find you are forgiven for said carelessness, and in your careful sharing, you may feel a responsible man wash away all irresponsibility. Thank you.